Hiya and welcome to the Redmen TV. We are back with more breaking news. It has been an absolute manic deadline day over here in the Redmen studios. As you can imagine, with Liverpool waiting quite late to try and get two major signings over the line. We'll do the updates now on Alexander Isak, who looks more likely to join the Reds, and then we'll get on to the breaking news of Marc Guehi. Sky Sports News have posted that Alexander Isak has now arrived back at the Liverpool training ground as he looks to complete his British record-breaking transfer to the club. He obviously was there at the AXA earlier this morning. He left probably to go to a hospital and do all of his medical side. That couldn't happen at the AXA. Well, he has now returned back to the AXA training centre, hopefully to sign his contract and do all the media stuff that we will be able to see later on today. So that is a positive update on one of the transfers. Sadly, however, I don't have great news on the other hand. I'm pretty sure all of you have seen this, or if you're not, I'm sadly about to upset you. So we'll go straight to Charlie Parker-Turner, who I'm pretty sure broke this first. He's put exclusive deal off with Crystal Palace working on defensive signings and minutes therefore not guaranteed. Igor has decided against joining Oliver Glasner's side. Instead, he is now in talks to join West Ham on a season-long loan. Deadline day drama. Well, why is this affecting us? Well, it's affecting us because he was the replacement for Marc Guehi. Earlier on today, Crystal Palace had reached an agreement with Brighton to sign Igor on a season-long loan. Personal terms were not expected to be an issue. West Ham were in the race, but Palace was in that pole position. For some reason, Igor has decided to join West Ham. I don't know why. Why? They're both from London. They're both London clubs. I've got a great manager over here in Oliver Glasner and a decent side. I mean, Crystal Palace have had a great start to the season, obviously beat us in the Charity Shield as well. Yes, they've, sold a couple of big players in Eze and hopefully Guehi. But I really like him as a manager. I think the tactics, they've still got great signings like Wharton there, Dean Henderson's, having a blinder. They've still got Mateta up front. I have no idea why you'd pick West Ham and this West Ham that's under Graham Potter. I understand they got a 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest the other day, but I mean, they've been tormented at the start of the season. They've lost quite a good amount of players. They've not really brought anyone of any, kind of calibre in. It's very, very strange that he'd want that move, but ultimately he has decided that he wants to sack off Crystal Palace and instead go to West Ham. Absolutely mental. Fabrizio Romano followed this tweet up and said, Igor to Crystal Palace has collapsed. News arrived as soon as Guehi completed his medical in London as a Liverpool player. LFC are now waiting for outcome on Crystal Palace side. And this is the problem. I mean, imagine if you're Marc Guehi, you've just completed your medical for Liverpool, you've passed it, and then someone comes knocking on the door and says, Igor's decided to piss Palace off and go to West Ham. I mean, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for us in this moment. You've got to hope that Guehi kind of pushes for the move and says, I've already passed my medical. I've been promised this. You've agreed to deal. I want to go. But Liverpool will now have to wait what Palace can do. Palace have about 2 hours and 15 minutes to try and get a replacement through the door. And that's not going to be simple. To get the paperwork done before 7 when you need to do a medical, this is worrying for Liverpool. It really is. You've got to hope that because they've agreed a fee, they don't do what Chelsea did with Nicholas Jackson last night, which, has now been changed, and he looks to be off to buy him. But for a spell last night after Liam Delap got injured, that deal, was pulled and Chelsea basically said you need to get back on that flight and come back to London. Nicholas Jackson wasn't too pleased with that. They've managed to find a deal where Bayern have decided to have an obligation to buy Nicholas Jackson to make sure that deal goes through. I'm not sure what Liverpool could do when they're already given 35 plus a 10% sell-on clause. We've just got to pray that this does not impact the Marc Guehi situation. Liverpool are waiting to see if it does impact the Marc Guehi deal per Ben Jacobs. But yeah, tell me what you think. Are you worried? Are you concerned? Obviously, in the last couple of hours, there's also been news that Brighton have been interested in Joe Gomez. However, they might have left it a little bit too late to get, the medical done, and that's Brighton's fault, not ours. And also, I think there was a couple of problems with the wages and how much Joe Gomez wanted and how much they were willing to pay. But are you concerned? Do you think this breaking news that Igor has decided to switch from Crystal Palace to West Ham, which is just absolutely ludicrous to me, do you think that this will impact the Marc Guehi situation? Or do you reckon because he's completed his medical, because there's been a fee agreed, do you reckon because he's also been so professional about it, that maybe Palace will still let this deal go through? It'd be stupid from them to do such a thing because they're leaving themselves short. But let me know how you're feeling about this. For me, as soon as I saw that, I instantly thought of the knock-on effects of what would happen with Liverpool. And yeah, people are saying, couldn't we sell him Gomez instead? I mean, who knows? I think, once again, the problem here is that Igor would have potentially been doing his medical, had some part of his medical done. Now you've got to agree a fee, which, bear in mind, with 2 hours left of the deadline, you're probably going to have to pay a little bit more than you wanted to. You've got to identify the player, agree the fee, sign the paperwork by 7. But to sign it, you've also got to pass your medical. And no one wants to sign a player who doesn't pass their medical or has problems that are maybe highlighted in the medical. If you sign all the paperwork and just Hail Mary, then you've kind of got a situation of, if they don't pass that medical, you are in deep trouble as well. So yeah, let me know what you think. People are saying don't let Gomez go, which I don't think at this moment in time there's a chance of Gomez leaving, but we will see. Zach says the Guehi deal will still happen. Chill, lads. The master has put medical done, it's all good. It's fine. Medicals being done are fine. But if Crystal Palace pull the plug on this deal, that's when we've got a problem. So there you go. Papers are not signed yet, even if the medical is done. So it's an issue. I agree. Why leave it till last day? I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe I'm assuming it's oh, my hair's gone a bit mad there. I'm assuming it's to do with the same thing that was reported with Isak, where if you just leave it a little bit too late, then they've got to either accept it. They can't come back and say, give us 40 instead of 35. But who knows? They've got 2 hours. I'm hoping that Liverpool get it over the line. I'll try and refresh now and see what people are saying. If there's any more follow-up news. Chloe, any news on Morgan Rogers to Liverpool? I've not heard anything. Obviously, there was rumours the other day. We've let Harvey Elliott go for an absolute ridiculous fee, by the way. I think Liverpool are being robbed blind here. I'm hoping that Harvey Elliott has some buyback clause in. And I'm also hoping we're basically sweetening, Aston Villa up for maybe next summer, where we might go in for Morgan Rogers. Who knows? But we shall see. Also, another thing to say, and it's obviously not his choice. Glasner the other day came out and said there's no way in this world we can sell Marc Guehi, which was trying to put the pressure on the owners. And the board not to sell him. They then chose to sell him to Liverpool or agree a fee. But Glasner will be absolutely made up to hear this, I'm guessing, because hopefully it means for him that, Palace don't sell Guehi, or they physically can't sell Guehi. But honestly, I'm a little bit concerned. Matt says, I'm very confident Guehi gets done, which, fair play. I hope that's the case as well. But we will see if anyone gave any updates. I'll also ask Aaron if he is seeing anything. More than likely, he'll put it in a chat if he has, to be honest. Paul Gorst, there we go. Look, we love to see that. Let's see what Paul Gorst has to offer us. I knew Aaron in the back would have something for us here. So Paul Gorst has said, Liverpool are now waiting to see if the collapse of Igor's move to Crystal Palace affects their own £35 million deal for Marc Guehi. The Eagles skipper had been undergoing his medical in London ahead of a switch to Anfield, a little over 2 hours left before the deadline. So once again, no major updates, just another, person telling me that we've got to wait and see. But, Liverpool need a centre-half, and it's that clear. Paul Joyce did say on the move that Crystal Palace have encountered the problem when trying to sign a defensive replacement. They wanted the replacement to allow Guehi to go. They thought they had that replacement, but now who knows? Palace have to resolve the issue, and in turn that of Guehi's future. It's mad that this lad's completed the medical and now he's got to sit there and wait. I still cannot believe why a player would want to join right now West Ham over Oliver Glasner's Palace. I think they're a great outfit, I really do. I think they're a great side. We will see what happens. Someone's blamed Paqueta. He's probably put a bet on it of some sort. But yeah, Sky Sports haven't... I didn't see them report anything. I saw loads of people reporting, like the Ben Jacobs, Fabrizio Romano. You obviously had Paul Joyce, now Paul Gorst. You had all of them reporting this. But before I came down here to record this, Sky Sports had gave no update on it. I literally was walking down the stairs as they were saying that Isak's back at Liverpool and Guehi's undergoing his medical, and not one thing was mentioned about how this Igor move to West Ham could have a knock-on effect. So we hope and pray that it doesn't have a knock-on effect, but it is going to be not a worrying, but you get what I mean. It's going to be a nail-biting 2 hours. Hopefully someone gives us the update that we want. Sky Sports have said Igor... I really want to turn this up to hear it, but I can't. They've just said Igor is not joining Crystal Palace as things stand, despite completing a medical this afternoon. He's now on his way to West Ham. I'm assuming someone will tell me in the comments if the rest of that clip does say that this has no knock-on effect. But honestly, I went from the happiest I've been to now slightly concerned. But that is the update for now. We have Paul and Chris still in the building. They will be here until deadline day for you. They'll be wrapping it up. They'll be wrapping up deadline day over on Redmen Plus, I'm pretty sure, if you want to go over there and sign up. So yeah, we will keep coming back with more breaking news as things happen. But as of now, Isak is back at the AXA, hopefully to complete all the media duties that he does before being announced as a new Liverpool player. Marc Guehi looks to have completed his medical for Liverpool. However, Liverpool are now waiting to see the outcome of what Crystal Palace do after Igor has rejected to join Crystal Palace and has instead chose to join West Ham. So yes, 2 hours left to go, 2 hours and 4 minutes if we're being precise. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we will go 2 from 2, but we will have to wait and see. Join us for more later on in the day. But that's all from me. Have a lovely rest of your deadline day. Hopefully tomorrow when I'm back in this building, Liverpool will sign both and it'll be in the best transfer window I've ever seen from a football club, because that is what we're borderline doing right now. And if we get these over the line, I don't think I've seen a better transfer window from anybody in world football. But until then, have a lovely day and up the Reds.